considering their PBs. They're kind of far apart. Weegee has a 48.26 and Drogie has a 50.20, but Drogie is definitely capable of a much faster time.
All right, don't mind me. I jumped on to commentate this literally 15 minutes ago. I am still getting my notes down for the routes. So far, it's looking like both of them are going to do CCM17. So pretty standard there, and the race is off.
Actually, Weegee is going to be doing the new 70-star route,
Right.
which does Womps 9. Oh, actually, it would be the fastest way is to do Island Hop, Womps 10. You do Pillarless twice and get SSL secrets, and you get the second Bips in basement. Skip SL Reds, and then do HMC later. And I think overall the route saves a few seconds.
All right. Yeah, this route was discovered in the middle of a tournament. It was literally about a month ago. Maybe, yeah, about a month ago.
Actually, yeah, it was about a month ago. Yeah.
So
not many people do it.
So both of them are going to be going for Lacto skip, a free box standard skip here. They are going to long jump onto the railing, and Weegee's not managed to get it. He's going to lose only about 8 seconds, but at this level, 8 seconds is kind of a big deal.
Yeah, the Lacto can be a troll sometimes.
And the second skip of the race, as usual, is bomb flip. What they do is they grab the bomb, throw it, and then re-grab it. That makes the bomb start its exploding animation, but then the grab stops it. The bomb's hitbox is larger than usual, and it pushes Mario through the grate. Drogie does not manage to get it right.
Weegee going for Island Hop. He wants to make up that time he lost by missing Lacto skip. Island Hop requires a first frame wall kick and then a jump dive to the island. And you don't really see it be performed much in races because it's really not ideal for a race, but he gets it second try, which props to him for going for that, and most people would not go for that in a race. That deserves a clappa, in my opinion.
Absolutely. And we are seeing Drogie already going to Princess Peach's secret slide. He is going to be doing standard CCM17, if I'm not mistaken, with Womps 9, which means that he is going to do this star first, the slide star, then do all of Womps, and then go back to get his second slide star.
Yep, it's actually faster to do the slide first by about a second, but you don't really see it be done in races or in runs because you want to get a Womps as soon as possible.
Yeah, that's a very interesting point to make every time. People who are used to doing attempts tend to be a little discombobulated in races.
Sure.
Mostly because of how their early game goes. Because when you're doing attempts, you don't think much about your early game. You can just reset and do it again. But in races, that's it. If you have a bad Womps, you have a bad Womps, and you have to keep going. And with Womps being such a technical stage,
correct,
it's a bad thing to happen. Now,
yeah, Weegee's not having the best start right here. Weegee's been on fire with runs lately. He just got 48.26 the other day, which I think puts him at 7th or 8th place on the leaderboard. He's one of the newest top 10 players in here, so this run is really not up to what his standards are right now.
Well, there's a lot of race in front of us, and I'm sure we're going to see at least a couple of lead changes. Drogie manages to get dropped to the island in the sky. That was not the name. Drop into the cage. That was not the name of the star. By doing Owless, very, very technical 2-frame skip that Weegee will probably be going for right now.
Yeah, you notice that Drogie and Weegee are using different versions of the game. Weegee, he's using the English version because I noted that earlier you do Peerless twice, and for SSL secrets you can sound glitch on the Japanese version, which doesn't happen on the English version, so you want to use the English version so you don't get sound glitch. It's rumored that English version is actually faster for 70 star by like a second, but some people have tested it, and in the English version there are a lot of areas in the game that lag randomly that doesn't happen in the Japanese version, so that probably cancels out the difference completely. And down the preference.
Yeah, according to the numbers I have from about a couple months ago, in 70 star, the US version is faster by 1.95 seconds. So, I mean, you pick your battles a little.
Yeah, I honestly think it just comes down to preference. But for in Weegee's situation, I think he's just have safety, so he doesn't get sound glitch.
Alright, and Drogie is going to go for good old Canaless. The usual setup. I've seen in this tournament people doing just running through the wall and texture setups. So that's the bog standard way to do Canaless.
Yeah,
But I
that
mean,
was found in
remember-
2014 by Sockfolder.
And here we see Weegee going for Owless, and he also gets it on the first try. Very complicated trick, Owless. Requires very fine control of the stick. You have to neutral, if I'm not mistaken, you have to neutral it as soon as you do the triple jump, and then pull left, and it's a 2-frame jump as well. It's
You can get Owless with a 3rd frame wall kick. It's just not common. Owless overall is a really hard trick. People struggle with that a lot when they're starting to learn the game.
let's call it a 2.5-frame trick then.
Sure.
Ooh, and Drogie getting the bonk there. That's not good. That's going to give Weegee a little bit of time to catch up.
Yeah, Weegee's certainly catching up here.
In fact, they're almost neck to neck now. That's neck and neck, that is
Yeah.
the incorrect expression in English. Hello.
Oh, Weegee actually just got the single jump Wild Blue, which is a very hard trick. I don't know how much time it saves. I think it's like half a second or something. I'm not too sure. Someone can let me know in the chat. Be cool. But yeah, you don't see many people go for that in runs. It's like the only person I see go for it. Yeah, so you'll see who's ahead by who goes to CCM first, because Drogie didn't do Island Hop.
Alright, and Drogie doing his last star in Womp's Fortress. Aptly, the Fortress. Ooh, he gets the exact same, not with the same problem, but he does follow the exact same slope.
Yeah, both of these beginnings are not ideal for both runners. Usually in a race you want a good start, or else you'll just be like really mad throughout the whole rest of the run.
Yeah.
It's really hard to come back from a bad start.
The tilt factor is a thing that happens. Alright, and we see Weegee getting his Fortress Star mere seconds after Drogie. I think that's about a 15-second difference, I want to say.
Yeah, but Weegee's actually, I'm pretty sure he's in the lead, because Weegee has 1 extra star.
Right, yes. That is correct.
Yeah, so Island Hop saves time because you don't enter BOB twice.
Mhm.
The actual strat loses time.
Yep. So here we see both Weegee and Drogie getting their second slide star, and after this they will both be going... Well, no. Weegee will be going into CCM, Drogie will have to do a pit stop at BOB again. And once they enter CCM, that's when we will know the actual difference between their times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you see both runners going into Mario Kim here at the light to reduce lag. Because you don't do that, you get like an insane amount of lag, like a massive amount of lag.
Ooh, Drogie missing one of the points there. That's going to cost him a few seconds, and Weegee's about to catch up with him. Coupled with Island Hop, that's definitely putting Weegee in the lead here.
Bowser in the Dark World coming up for both runners. They're going to both be going for Shigeru cycle. I think it's the safest cycle to go for in 70 star. If LBLJ was allowed in 70 star, they would be going for Zaya cycle, which saves around a second or a little less than that. But Shigeru is much more safer in this category.
Yep, and In any case, we know that LBOJ is not allowed as 70 star because 70 star is also known as any percent no major skips. Sorry, I got scared at that ledge grab that Drogie did there.
Yeah, I like jumped out of my seat for a second.
And so yeah, no major skips means that we cannot use any kind of BLJs in order to skip parts of the run, because that's the definition of the category, guys. Weegee also giving us the clinch with that ledge grab.
Yeah. I think Dark World is probably the most clinch-worthy Bowser stage of the three, in my opinion.
I don't know, I've had several... I guess it's less clinch and more a deeper annoyance in terms of Fire Sea. Places like getting stuck under the platform and dying to lava.
I just think it's like just general, like it's really easy to die in Dark World.
Yeah.
Compared to the other two, while Fire Sea cycles.
But then again, it being so early game, most of the runners have the most practice in it. Alright, and both of them having little to no trouble in the Bowser fight. Weegee having to do a couple throws instead of one. But
yes, Weegee's actually very far ahead of Drogie right now. Probably by about 20 to 30 seconds, because Weegee's going right to CCM.
And Weegee is opening the CCM door at 11.11. We will see just how far behind Drogie is as soon as he opens the CCM door. And barely manages to get the triple jump. Weegee going for that's an unfortunate bomb. Weegee going for one of my favorite stars in the run in terms of movement. Walk it will work. The abbreviated strat is really nice. And Drogie opening the door at 11:43. That puts him at about 33 seconds behind Weegee right now. And both Drogie and Weegee going for one of my favorite stars in the run, mainly because this is one of the few tricks I can actually pull off, and I don't run this game.
Oh, you don't run this game?
I absolutely do not run this game. I watch
Interesting.
for like a year, and that's how I learned Kappa.
Kappa.
But yeah, all of my knowledge comes from watching YouTube, GDQs, and a lot of just spending time on Twitch.
Nice. That's actually a really convenient way to learn SM64 if you can't play it.
I borrowed one of my friends' N64s. It was confirmed I cannot play this. I cannot pull off most of these. I could pull off Canon List.
It's fine though. Most of the people that know say information in commentary don't play the game either, and they know a lot about the game too. It's really surprising to me.
Yep. So now we are seeing Weegee doing CCM17. For those who don't know, CCM17 is one of the first major divergences that can happen at the beginning of the run. The difference is whether you do the 100 coin star with the first slide star or with the second. If you do it with the first slide star, as both of them are doing, you exit CCM with 17 stars, hence CCM 17, and you get to skip the second slide star and replace it with another star later in the run. It is also a slightly faster and slightly safer strat. It allows you to be able to miss some of the coins down the slide. And save about a second, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so in this race, Weegee's going to replace the Penguin race with the SSL Secret Star, and Drogie will replace it with, I think, THI Reds.
Both of them not that popular choices for replacements for TCM 17. Usually you see things like TTC 1. Are they going to do TTC 100?
Yes, they do. So
yes.
They're going to do TTC 100, and then instead of doing the Penguin race, they're going to do either the Toxic Maze Star in HMC, the Secret Star in SSL, or the Red Star in Tiny Huge Island. The most popular one is the Toxic Maze Star in HMC.
Yep.
it's really hard to save time with that one because you can easily mess that one up.
Yeah.
More likely to lose time.
SSL Secrets is also a pretty complicated one, especially since you have to get Pillarless twice. And Pillarless is not
Well,
an
if you
easy
can get
trick.
it, if you can get it once, you can get it twice. That's what I usually like to follow.
Alright, both of them going into Big Boo's Haunt. Fairly short stage, only 2 stars here. I still do not understand how the developers expected casual players to get up to the roof after beating the Big Boo at the balcony, but, you know.
Yeah, I remember watching some casual player try to get up to the roof. It took them about 2 hours or something. I was trying to help them out. They kept falling off.
I'm not surprised. Like, this one and Tricky Triangles from Rainbow Ride, which has a very, very tight timer for the kind of maneuvering that you have to do.
Oh
It's
yeah.
just like, what were they thinking? To borrow the Angry Video Game Nerds words.
Yeah, these developers were certainly messing with us here when making this game.
Alright, and Weegee going into basement 15. I'm gonna call that 38. Go ahead.
He got MIPS, which he easily got that MIPS star. Because in the English version, the first MIPS is like 25% slower than the one on Japanese, so you can just easily grab it.
That's very nice. Now Drogie is running on the Japanese version. Let's see how he does on that.
Alright, Weegee going for his first pillarless here. He's going to go for the secret star first, which I think is harder for anybody that does that star.
And he gets the ground counts right, and he manages to get in. Not bad. Drogie also not having any problem catching it. And yep, he's going for the secret star. I am getting asked, at least I think it is me, to tell the MIPS story. The reason MIPS is called MIPS is because that is the name of the processor in the M64. It was a very fast processor that allowed for this kind of rendering, so the developers modeled the bunny in order to test out the N64's hardware, and they grew so attached to it in the test rooms that they ended up putting it in the game.
Man, I've been running this game for 2.5 years, and I had no idea about
You know
that.
the best part? I don't even know where I read this. I just know that I fact checked and it's true. So you know.
Wow, that's interesting.
Alright, so both of them doing SSL. SSL, a very punishing stage, especially in tricks like Pillarless. It's one of
He got trolled by that fly guy. Oh, he got trolled again. This fly guy is giving Drogie the work right now. He's not getting a break.
Oh no! Exactly what I was trying to talk about as we got interrupted by the fly guy. SSL, one of the most punishing stages, because there's very few stages, apart from the ones that are like floating in the void, that have one-hit kill hazards strewn everywhere around the map.
Again.
He gets trolled by the fly guy again.
You know, you see Drogie pausing, just to confirm with everyone watching. Pausing does lose time. Each time you pause, you lose about a year. So you just lost about 20 years there throughout the whole run.
So he's going to do an alternative method to get the star off of Talon, and finally claim that star. In the meantime, Weegee going into lethal.
Yeah, Weegee's cruising now after that start he had.
Absolutely. And he is in fact 20. He's 2 stars ahead. Yeah, I'm quite about 2 stars ahead with that synchronized target, and we'll have to see if Weegee messes up, because at this point and at the pace they're going, it's very complicated for a lead change to just happen. Weegee's going to have to mess up in order to give Drogie the lead back.
Another thing to point out too is once Weegee's completed with LL, he'll be going right to DDD. He's going to save HMC for later on. So we have no idea who will be ahead until whoever gets to Rainbow Ride first. I'm sorry, Reset Ride.
I mean, not in this context, it's not. Reset in Rainbow Ride, I think that's That does not help your chances for winning a race. Alright, Weegee having absolutely no trouble with that bully. Watch out for these platforms when they appear. Sometimes you can get caught under them and just insta-die on lava, because platforms on lava on this game are fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these bullies really like to push people around. Capo. Yeah, Weegee just has a couple star. Actually, he has 3 stars left, and he's done with LOL. Yeah, you need to finish LOL with 30 stars, or else you won't be able to do this route. Because you need, in order to get in D2D, you need 30 stars.
So, yep, that only blocks off. Yeah, that blocks off doing CCM and Toxic Maze, so that is why he needed to do SSL secrets, because the other 2 optional stars that he could have done instead of SSL secrets are THI Reds and Toxic Maze, which are both in stages he's going to do later down the line.
Yeah, with this route, the only options you have before 30 stars is to do CCM 18 with
that we were waiting for ? Weegee takes an unfortunate death in the volcano and is going to have to go back in. Luckily, well, not if he keeps pausing, but luckily the painting will respawn him in the volcano, so he won't lose as much time.
Yeah, pausing is not ideal.
Alright, he does manage to get the star now, though. And is going to go for his last star in LOL.
Right, Weegee finishing up LOL, he'd be going right to D2D unless he had a last-minute route change.
And I guess we'll see that in just about a second.
Yep, off he goes to D2D.
Drogie having a little bit of a bonk, Weegee bonking Solidarity.
Yeah, it's always exciting. He paused again. Come on, we stop it. Anyway, it's always cool to see new routes being found in SM64. This is the most recent route discovery, and yeah, I guess that's why a lot of people are doing 70 star lately.
Yep. Now, for those of you who are new to for running, what Drogie is going to do here, below your mind, HMC does not have ceilings. They just didn't program them in. So if you want to get to the next room over, you can just jump over the wall. There's nothing stopping you. So that thing that Drogie just did there is called box jump. You triple jump on top of a box, and it lands you in the next room right on top of the star, because why not?
Yeah, my mind is blown right now. Like, when I did that for the first time, I was mind blown. It saves a lot. Okay, Weegee's pausing is actually starting to make me mad. I'm memeing. I'm getting triggered.
Alright, Weegee gets his first DVD star and still pausing for some reason. Yeah, an interesting thing to note, both of them are running on console, aren't they?
Yes.
Yep, so on console, there are 2 elements in DDD that cause a ton of lag, both the whirlpool and the submarine. So one in either room. So you will see that Weegee, when he was collecting the chest, was in Mario Cam, the camera very tightly behind Mario, so that the whirlpool would be on camera as little as possible in order to reduce lag. He goes for the front sub there, and he manages to get it.
He needs to stop pausing before I stop commentating. I'm getting mad. Anyway, yeah, he went for a left sub.
It's pause buffering. It's fine. He's pause buffering inputs.
Yeah, he went for left sub, which saves like a second. It's kind of hard to do. You usually only see it in 16 star runs, but he's doing it in 70. Another thing to note too is Drogie's playing on an N64 controller, and Weegee's playing on Hori. And the difference, there are quite a couple differences. Hori has 2 Z buttons, one on the left side, one on the right side, and Hori has a GameCube style stick, which I guess is a little looser than N64 and has less angles too. Hori is mainly used for just Bowser throws, but some people like to use it for the whole game, which I wouldn't recommend to anybody.
I know a few runners who actually decide to use N64 controllers, but who have 2 controllers. One for the entire run, which is their good controller, and then another one just for Bowser throws, because doing the throws absolutely wrecks the stick.
Yeah. Before I got a Hori, I used 2 N64 controllers.
Weegee not liking what he's doing right there. He does manage to get the red coin, but he's definitely missed the cycle on the elevator. This elevator is, I think, one of the longest cycles that you have to wait for.
Yeah. If you go for early Ellie's, Lava Boost early Ellie's, and you end up getting normal cycle, you lose almost 20 seconds. And then I think it's like 7 seconds for just normal early Ellie's.
I don't know, can you think of a longer cycle in the run that...
No, I can't. I think this is the longest one. It's probably the longest.
It's pretty interesting. I always find it pretty interesting that it's these first 2 Bowser stages that have like the more important cycle mathematics, let's say. The first Bowser stage with the platforms, and this one with the elevator. The third Bowser stage is very much not as bad, but it still has the
For
spin elevators.
For Dark World, if you miss a cycle, that's 4 seconds each one you miss. In bits, I think it's only like 2 or 3 seconds. I'm not too sure. There's a lot of cycles in bits. And then in Fire Sea, it's like at max of 20 seconds, even more. That's why Fire Sea is really crucial in 70 Star. Yeah, so he finished Fire Sea at like 26:40 something. I'm not sure what a good time is. I think his PB had around 25:30 something. Maybe even lower than that. But he's going upstairs now with 34 stars. Drogie, the Michael Phelps of SM64, as some people call him, he's just finished DDD. He's going to Fire Sea next.
I think that commentary deserves at least a little explanation of how game.
Say that again?
I think that Michael Phelps of N64 deserves at least a little explanation of how swimming works in this game.
Yeah, so
Drogie
is really good at swimming. I think every single star that involves swimming, Drogie has. So we kind of call him the Michael Phelps of SM64 because he's just really good at the swimming stars.
For those who don't know, swimming in N64, it's not just mashing the A button. It's not going to get you anywhere. You have to time it very well in order to get the fastest cycles. I did not like that movement that Drogie did there. He was almost caught by the platform. And some runners have to use audio cues, so they will literally put on headphones just for the swimming stars in order to be able to swim optimally.
Correct.
And Drogie, unfortunately, missing that cycle there, losing quite a bit of time, but still going on and about to face Bowser. You have to remember that Drogie has already done HMC, and Weegee has skipped HMC and will be going back to it later in the run, so we do not know how far apart they are from each other until they both enter Rainbow Ride.
Yes. Whoever touches the tippy door first is in the lead. Which I think at this point, Drogie might have caught up at least like 30 seconds from all the pausing that Weegee did. Unnecessary rage pauses, might I add.
I mean, it's like if you watch Link to the Past randomizer races, there's rage slashing and rage hammering. It's a way of communicating with your audience. It's a valid way. It's maybe not the most efficient way or effective way, but it is a way.
Speaking of Link to the Past, be sure to subscribe to become an alpha gamer.
That had no context, that it confused even me.
Don't worry, people in chat will get it.
Alright, I'll trust that. We get a question in the chat. A good 70-star runtime, it is 50. Yeah, about 50 is where you start when you start getting the top level runners, about the top 10, top 15. Anything lower than that is cheese puncation area, basically.
Yeah. So yeah, Cheese currently has a world record 47.34, and second place is a 48.13. So there's a pretty big gap between first and second place. But I guess some people would consider 49 like not that good, but 48 decent. But I guess it's all about what you think is good or bad or decent. I think for me, sub 50 is really good. Like, star.
I mean, when you start talking about good or bad, you have to put it in context. Like, is it good for someone who's been running this category for 3 years, or
yes,
or like,
correct.
Because you have to run for X years to get under 50. It's not a trivial thing to get to. So a good time, like, if I'm not mistaken, after the rules changed that they had a couple of months ago, speedrun.com has started limiting 70 star to they will only accept your run if it's sub-hour. And
no. That's because so if you want to submit a run that's recorded with a webcam, it has to be slower than 1 hour flat. So if you want to submit like a 59, it has to be recorded with a capture card.
Alright. Okay, that's useful to know. As I said, I don't run this game, so I've had to piece together what I can.
Yeah, I'm part of the SM64 clique, so I was part of the rule decision there.
Alright, and there is something similar with a 120 star, it has to be under 2 hours, is that right?
Yeah, so if you want to submit a 120 run under 2 hours, it has to be filmed with a capture card.
Alright, there we go. Weegee enjoying his time in the pause menu.
Just making sure he has all the stars he needs.
It's RNG manipulation, we promise. That's a standard excuse, right? GDQ.
Sure. Even though there's like not a lot of RNG in 70 star, it's only like
no, of course. All right. So for those who don't know, the major source of RNG in this entire game in general is coins. Literally, when you break a box or kill an enemy and they dispense coins, they will fly off in different directions, and that is very RNG sensitive. What other things in this game aren't as deterministic? Because most of the enemy behavior is determined by how rather than RNG.
Yeah, biggest thing is coins. So in 70 star, the Wet Dry World 100 and TTC 100 are very RNG heavy. You want to get RNG in both of those stars, or not, you can lose a lot of time with that. And
Weegee going for that swag breezeless.
Shout out to Benny.
Let's see if Drogie goes for that as well later on. So yes,
mountain clip. It's unfortunate.
In 120 star, 120 star is a lot more RNG than 70 star, because obviously in 70 star you can skip most of the 100 coin stars, which obviously require collecting a lot of coins. Duh. And there are some 100 coin stars that are just it's up to RNG whether you get 5 seconds up or down depending on whether the coins fly away from you or towards you.
Yeah, not sure what Drogie's doing here. Looks like he's not going to be saving time by doing this star. But yeah, this is THI Reds by itself. Usually pair it with 100 coin and 120 star. You got to get inside the cape first. This is where the magic happens.
It does seem like he had a little trouble getting up there.
Oh, that was a nutty firstie. Alright, pretty decent inside the cave. Not sure how Weegee's TTM's going, but I saw a few pauses, so I assume it's not going too ideal for him.
Oof. He just had a scary water drop. It's, for those who don't know, you've seen our runners clipping through the side of the mountainside in TTM and just appearing at water for some reason. That's because there is water being rendered behind that mountainside, and if you swim in the correct way, you can warp up to the water that is higher up the mountain. Why is he not selecting the star? There we go. Oh, that's the reason why. So you're going to see it right now in Weegee's screen. He just warped up. If you swim in the incorrect way, though, you fall off the stage and die. So you have to be careful about that. He's also doing the log wall kick in a way that I haven't seen done before, which is moving the camera around in order not to see Mario.
Yeah, there are a lot of different ways you can do log wall kick, different camera angles. It's mainly just a feel that each runner gets for that strat. Doesn't really like lose or save time which cameras you use.
Right, and Drogie is having way more trouble than expected in the THI movement.
Yeah, it looks like Drogie's not really taking this seriously anymore, which he should, because he still has a chance to catch up.
It does not seem that way to me. He's simply like missing jumps. I think it's more the tilt factor of knowing that he's watch it for those used to watching randomizer races on speedrun on speed gaming. I can speak, I swear. On randomizer races, you're not allowed to watch the restream, but on these races, you are. And ooh, Weegee with the bonk there, that's going to cost him as well. And being able to see yourself and your opponent on the restream and realizing that you're behind is a massive tilt factor.
So Weegee has 2 stars left to get, and once he's done with SL, he'll be going back to basement, getting the second MIPS, and then going to HMC to get those stars there, then back up to Tippy to do those stars. For some reason, that's faster than getting SSL Reds. Somehow.
Sextile, well, that did not sound correct in the Saxtile. That did not sound correct in the accent I was trying to give it.
Kappa.
We do not know whether Drogie is behind yet, or whether Weegee is behind. We will have to see who reaches the Tippy door first, because Weegee still has not done HMC. He's doing the new route, which involves going back down to HMC after doing SummerSlam.
So he's done with SL now. He's gonna go back in and then exit course and go to basement. But HMC is really quick. It's only about 2 minutes in 70 star. Yeah, I think Weegee's still very far ahead. Per se. Yeah, and I mentioned earlier that the first MIPS in English is slower than the first MIPS in Japanese, but the second MIPS is the same speed in both versions.
Alright, for those in the chat, I would like to apologize for mispronouncing Saxtile's username. I am trying to learn a different language. For some reasons, the A's sound like E's and the E's sound like A's. So it's very complicated. I'm sorry. All day, every day. So I apologize for that mispronunciation. Ooh, Drogie falling off of the waterfall right there. I did not expect to see that right now. He is not playing his best.
This is a answer to reset_in_piece. Yes, but in like 2 years ago. There are a lot of people with good bits nowadays. Weegee is one of them. Yeah, I don't know what's
Ooh.
going on with Drogie. He might have handed the controller to his cousin or something that doesn't know how to play the game. Yeah, this.
Ooh, going for that fly guy there.
That was the DrogieSR right there, taking the fly guy. 51 stars. Yeah, Weegee is for sure ahead.
Alright. And Drogie is about 2 or 3 stars away from finishing off this stage. Yes, 2 stars if I'm not mistaken. He tried to go for Breezeless, is attempting again.
Yeah,
Did
if you
not
miss it
manage to get on the
once.
second.
Go for it again. I don't know. I'd go for it again. Either you just don't go for it, or you just keep going for it. In my opinion. Weegee just has one more star in Hazy Maze Cave, and then he'll be going right back up to Tippy to do Reset Ride and TikTok Clock.
And
Bowser in the Sky.
And make sure we take down his time for when he enters the Tippy door so that we can compare
Yes.
with Drogie's time and see how far apart they are.
Yes, he's gonna go back in the HMC, exit course, and go back to upstairs to Tippy.
And at the same time, Drogie is going to go up to SL and do the next 5 stars. So right now it's looking like Weegee has about a 4.5 lead that is commanding.
Yeah, Weegee has like a 2.5 minute lead right now. A 41-26 door touch.
And Drogie just finishing off one of the most entertaining stars to see in terms of movement. The Snowman's Head, it's always really nice to watch runners getting the triple jumps and the wall kicks correctly. Weegee manages to get the Lackey bounce, another interesting trick that involves luring Black over to bounce on it after wall kicking on the ramp, and manages to get the Cruiser Star.
Yeah. I guess according to chat, Weegee could still get a 50-minute time. There's only a couple minutes off his PB considering what pauses he had. Which definitely lost him quite a bit of time.
Yep. For those asking about my name on chat, that's the first time. That's not the first time that's happened, but I'm flattered. Thank you. My name is meant to be pronounced Ash Area, so there we go. I do not think I am important enough for this question to be warranted. Alright. And Weegee going for tricky triangles. While Drogie gets the SL red coins. And there they go, both of them. Nope.
One more star left in Rainbow Ride for Weegee. It was a pretty good Rainbow Ride. Compared to the earlier parts of his run, this is probably the best part. Well, commentators curse Kappa. He misses.
Right there. Right, and Drogie is finally out of the cell and is going to go up to Tippy.
Yeah, he's like a good 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes behind Weegee now.
Let's see. Door touch at 44.04. That puts him Yes, at about 2.5 minutes, 2 minutes 40 rather. It's a very large lead at the level they are playing and at this time in the run. So unless Weegee takes a death in bits or in TikTok clock, it's going to be really hard to catch up to him.
I noticed that Weegee has not been saving at all, so if he game overs in TDC, then he won't have a file.
I don't think game overing. I think by the point he game overs, he would have lost 11 lives. So I think by that point, Drogie would have already caught up with him.
I've seen a couple of runners game over in a run, and yeah, it's not fun.
For those of you wondering whether saving actually makes a difference, in 120 star where you have to save about 110 times over the entire course of the run. Those few frames that it takes to save add up to, if I'm not mistaken, about 30 seconds. Is that correct?
In 120 star, I think it's about like I think 20 seconds. 120 star.
Right, Drogie taking an unfortunate death there. Not looking good for his only chance of shortening the gap between the two.
And yeah, you save on every star you get, whether it's a text box save from Secret Star or the menuing. You save on every star.
Not quite on every star, but rather on every course exit. And you have to take into account stars like 100 coin stars, which you bundle with other stars. So it's not quite 120; it's a little less.
No, because you save for the 100 coin star in the course, and then you use the level for the other star.
Yes, you are absolutely correct. And Super Viper is adding as well that you also save for Bowser keys.
Oh, that's right.
123.
Shout out to my boy Viper in the chat. Alright, so Weegee's almost done with TTC. He leaves with 69 stars, and he saves Toad for last, because it's actually faster to get Toad last by, I think, like a second or something. Drogie's PB is a 50-20.
So
his bio.
Yep, and Weegee's PB is a 48-26, which you mentioned he got recently.
He got it yesterday, or 2 days ago.
So, like, having these times in mind, they're actually playing pretty accordingly to their PBs. It's not like they're going to PB in this run, but they have about a 2.5 minute. Like we saw when they entered TP, about a 2.5 minute difference, which is literally the difference in their PBs.
Yeah, you are correct there.
What 2 minutes? The difference in their PBs is 2 minutes rather than 2.5 minutes. But Drogie has not been playing his best today.
Oh yeah, so Weegee got his last star here. He has just to get Toad. He's off to Bowser in the sky.
Ooh, Drogie getting flamed right there. He's got takes another hit and falls. Is he going to fall off the course? No, but he takes the death anyway. Fire. That is fuego. At least we know he's still keeping his sense of humor.
Kappa Ross.
And Weegee entering Bowser in the sky. As many of you know, last stage, Drogie with an 8-star difference.
Yo, Weegee, you got whatever that's called. That's really hard to do. Like, no one does that in runs. It's really hard to pull off that long jump to the platform across.
Yep.
Massive
props.
For right side. Nope,
Nope,
side.
left side. And he manages to get left side, no problem. Yeah,
Alright.
I don't know. What we've been seeing in this run, Weegee had a rocky start, but managed to recover pretty well, and he's actually been playing rather well, aside from a few bongs.
Yeah. And
It's
several pauses.
more than several. But he's been playing, I would say, pretty consistently. It's not been super.
You see these forward throws. He's gonna get the forward throws. Never mind. These are Benny throws.
But the difference is that Drogie has been having a lot of trouble, and Weegee takes a death in the Bowser fight. That is not something I expected to hear. I thought he would know that Bowser would jump there. I don't understand why he tried to get the tail.
Alright, he can still get a 50. Alright, 1, 2, and alright. He got it. That's a no. Oh, never mind. That's a 50 right there. That is a solid 50 from Weegee14. A little over 2 minutes from his PB, but you know the pauses really set him back at least 99% of that 2 minutes. So we get a 56.43 in his run. Great job to Weegee.
Absolutely, he's been playing. He's been doing a really good run. He is about 2 minutes 30. About exactly 2 minutes 30 of a PV. It seems he's not going to come in for an interview. Burger King is indeed OP. We will still try to get him in as like a 20-second thing before the burgers call him.
No, the burgers already called him at the start of this run, man.
He was already lost before we started.
Yeah, so 50-56. He could have easily gotten a 49, but he took the W, which is what matters the most in this situation. Now that Drogie has lost, he is out of the tournament. And yeah, if I won my last tournament race, I would have been up against Weegee. Oh no, I would have been up against Drogie. No, it seems like I would have a chance here. Shout out to my boy Steve O'Broyle. Can I get a equal sign right bracket in the chat? Thank you.
All right, so as you mentioned, this is one of the last two matches of round 4. It's Weegee and Drogie, and then Toast Rider and Paraclusia. And from now on, semifinals, finals, and bronze matches are not going to be immediate losses. They are going to be best of 3. So we're going to have a few more matches than usual. Hopefully, we haven't had that as much match density as at the beginning of the tournament.
Actually, I may be wrong about this, but I might have read up earlier that Toast Rider had to drop out of the tournament because he's not able to play the game right now. So I guess Para will take the win anyway.
All right, in that case, we'll start in on the best of 3 matches, and we have Weegee here for an interview. Whopper, hello Weegee. GG on the run.
Hey Weegee, what's going on, buddy?
Just eating McDonald's. I lied. It was not food.
Oh, that's a disappointment.
Yeah.
Well, that was a very decent run you pulled there. How are you feeling?
Well, I could have done a little bit more pausing, I know, but yeah. I'm really surprised I was at 50 still.
I'm going to let Pete deal with that statement.
Yeah, I was getting really mad at the pausing, man. I don't know what was up with that. If you didn't pause once, you could have gotten a 49 for sure.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
But yeah, so how are you feeling about the semifinal? You are up against Blue Bob, which is a tall order, to say the least.
Yeah, well, it'll be a fun race. I don't know how it'll go. Races can go really well or really bad, so.
Certainly showed us here in this race, buddy.
Yeah, pal.
Alright, so what would you say would be your higher point of the race? You had a slightly rockier start, but what would you say was the point where you were like back on your game?
I think once I got upstairs, I started getting the hang of it. Still a few major dumb mistakes. Rainbow Ride was going well, but then I choked the gold. But yeah, that was probably one of my best.
I think
points.
Island Hop was the best part, and that long jump you did in bits at the start.
yeah.
That was really cool too.
Yeah, that was a fun race.
Drogie actually did not finish. He turned off his console before he grabbed the star.
Oh my
So
god, I
this is
saw
gonna
that.
be a disqualification for Drogie. He just wasted 55 minutes of his time just to turn off the console at the end.
Well then. It was during the long jump too.
Well, that's an unfortunate way to end the tournament, but it is a way, I suppose. Not relinquishing the and here we have Drogie as well for an interview. GG Drogie, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
Are you tired? I saw you mention in chat you were tired.
Yes, I am, but yeah, it was a fun race still.
Right. I swear I can talk. I swear. Also, we're getting a massive amount of feedback, I think, from Drogie's microphone. But I did want to ask, how are you feeling about the match? How are you feeling in general about how you played and how far from your PB you were?
I mean, I knew it wasn't going to be the best run. I knew it was against Weegee. So, yeah, I actually tried at the beginning, but then I realized, okay, this isn't going to work. And whenever I actually tried hard, I kept messing up even more. So I thought, okay, let's just play. And yeah, at some parts I didn't really take it seriously anymore, but yeah, it's just because whenever I actually tried, I failed even worse. So yeah, then I thought let's just play. That was fun, and I don't really care about how far I was from my PB because I didn't finish the run anyway, so can't really have a number.
It's all right, man. You both put in your best effort, which is all that matters. Well, you both put in some sort of effort, and that's all that matters.
I mean, we were commenting earlier on while Weegee was doing bits, if I'm not mistaken, how you guys were actually about as far apart as your PBs are, which I would say says something. It wasn't a landslide, let's say. All right. Is there anything either of you would like to point out? Raise any butt clench moments? Any?
Back to 47 grind, Weegee?
Sure. I gotta finish this. Never mind.
All right. Well,
and Weegee deserves to win, and I'm looking forward to the Weegee versus Blue Bob. I think I read in chat.
Yep, that is correct. Weegee versus Blue Bob.
I'm looking forward to that.
Well,
woot.
And this is to the chat, if you guys liked this race, remember to follow the runners. Both of them have been doing an amazing job. And it's very complicated to get to this level. Both of you guys got to the quarterfinals, which is not an easy thing to get to. So, GG to both of you. Drogie, that was an amazing tournament run, and I hope you will join the next one. Weegee, good luck in the semis.
Thanks.
Not really. Congrats, Weegee.
Thank you.
Luck on the next
Fun
race, and yeah, I'm gonna go to sleep now.
Sweet dreams.
My toothbrush is actually prepared already.
That sounds nice.
All right, so remember, as I just mentioned, remember to follow the runners. They do an amazing job. If you like speedrunning and you like races, speed gaming is kind of the place to be. So you're already in the right place. On this channel, right after this, we have Super Mario Brothers 3 randomizer tournament.
Let's go.
I'm already hyped.
If you absolutely cannot wait for a race to start, on Speed Gaming 2, there's already the Final Fantasy 1 randomizer league going on, and at 9:30, they're going to do a Link to the Past randomizer race. They're doing a Key Sanity seed. I think they're on the Key Sanity tournament, second. And on Speed Gaming 1 at 10 p.m. EST, they're doing another Link to the Past Key Sanity race. So those are going to overlap. And on Speed Gaming 3, we are running the No Glitches Allowed marathon. So you can also drop by there. We have all 4 channels going full steam right now.
This is so hype, man.
Very much so.
Stone lightning.
Stone lightning.
All right. So is there anything else you want to add, Pete?
Be sure to subscribe to become an alpha gamer.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm
For those-
sorry.
For those of you who know what that means, probably already subscribed. For those of you who don't know what that means, I don't either. Don't.
Yeah, it's about natural gameplay.
All right. So if you missed any of the races, Speed Gaming has a YouTube channel. You can just search for Speed Gaming on YouTube. It's the first thing that pops up. The races tend to come up about 2 or 3 days after they're run, so you can watch anything you missed there. Thanks to the runners, GG to both of you. Thanks to our restreamers, and thanks to you guys, to the audience who actually came in here and laughed at us mostly. And
Shout out to Tayup.
Shout out to Paul's buffering.
Agreed.
And with that, I think that's all. My name has been Asharia.
I'm Weegee.
Love you.
All right, Pete, you gonna do an outro?
Oh, outro. Yeah, my name's Pete, and I'm part of the Super Mario 64 clique. Have a great night, everybody. Internet Explorer Trollface.
All right, guys. Until next time, good luck, have fun. See you guys next time.
Kappa Ross.
Yeah. That.